The Iran-US showdown is threatening to enter the upcoming FIFA World Cup. With tensions escalating between the two nations, Iran's participation in the 2026 FIFA World Cup is suddenly under a cloud. There's no official withdrawal, but there is doubt. And even the possibility of a boycott raises this question. Now, while politicians exchange threats, negotiate power, has anyone stopped to think about the most affected here? The players. A tournament that was meant to be a trendsetter of sorts, a once-in-a-lifetime edition, is throwing up fresh controversies time and again, with new roadblocks and hurdles appearing as we enter the home stretch. And with the countdown ticking, things are becoming more and more tangled and complicated for everyone involved in FIFA World Cup 2026. First came concerns over US visa policies, with fears that geopolitical tensions would affect who gets in and who misses out. Then came fan frustration, ticket prices skyrocketing, accessibility questioned. Security fears followed, the ICE killing in America, and then violence in Mexico after the killing of a major cartel leader. And now we're talking about whether an entire nation may boycott the entire tournament itself.
Due to this attack and its viciousness, it is far from our expectations that we can look at the World Cup with hope. This will surely be studied by the country's high-ranking sports officials, and there will be a decision on what's going to happen.
So let's take a look at Iran's schedule here at the World Cup. The footballing country is slated to play all three of its group matches on US soil, in Los Angeles and Seattle to be particular, which means this isn't just about a neutral venue, it's about stepping into the territory of a political rival. And that changes everything. Because here's the reality, even if diplomatic channels do cool the tensions down, even if leaders do reach an agreement behind closed doors, does that really erase what the players themselves truly feel? Does it erase the mental toll all of this is bound to take on every single one of them? Because history shows us athletes carry the weight of politics whether they like it or not. When Russia invaded Ukraine, Russian and Belarusian athletes became symbols of a war that they didn't start, that they had no part of. Their participation sparked global outrage. Opposition players openly objected. Even if you were world number one, like Aryna Sabalenka, you weren't just an athlete playing the sport anymore. You were someone who had to portray the political messaging everywhere you went. Israeli athletes have long faced similar scrutiny amid ongoing conflict.
It's difficult to play football, which is our job, at a time when our country is at war. There are things more important than the game.
And that there is the reality. When your country is in crisis, football shifts into reverse gear. And it's not just Europe or the Middle East here. Remember the India-Pakistan cricket tensions. Pakistan's board threatened a boycott of the 2026 World Cup game against India. Then, of course, they reversed their decision. But when the players walked onto the field, they carried that political baggage which had nothing to do with the sport. They weren't just representing a team here, they were representing national pride, the stance that their government had taken, diplomatic messaging, and so on. Pakistan faced the brunt of it. The players, that is. The pressure is invisible. You can't see it, but you can surely sense it, and that is crushing. Now, Iran finds itself in that very same spotlight. If they withdraw, they'll be accused of politicizing sport. If they do decide to take the field, every step they take in USA will be viewed through a geopolitical lens. Questions won't be just about tactics or formations. They'll be about political posturing, and we've already seen how quickly things can spiral. At the AFC Women's Asian Cup in Australia, Iranian players were asked this. Imagine that, a football team preparing for an international tournament being asked about the death of their national leader. No questions about preparation, no questions about strategy, what their mind space was about the tournament, just politics. That's the world athletes live in today. FIFA's slogan says football unites the world, but reality suggests something entirely different. Football is only reflecting the world, its tensions, the divides, the wars. And when nations clash, athletes become really the face of it. They pay the price of it and they feel the real impact of it. They don't control sanctions or military strikes, yet they absorb all the consequences that come of it. So as Iran's 2026 participation continues to remain uncertain, the real question isn't whether they'll play in America or they won't. It's this: how will the Iranian athletes navigate through what was once just a football tournament that they were playing for, that they were planning to play in? Are we entering an era where every World Cup match is also a diplomatic statement? Young men and women who trained for years for this very moment, now forced to answer questions they never really signed up for, do things they never thought of, project their country's stance and do their political bidding. Is that what we are set to see more of from here on?
Power doesn't end quietly. Some deaths are not accidents. They are messages. A gunshot. A crowd. A country frozen. The killer disappears. The questions don't. This is not just about who died. It's about what followed. Governments fell. Armies moved. History rewrote itself. 5 leaders. 5 moments. One pattern. The assassination.